It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Waike in the
Zo. Good morning.
Waike,
good
you have to
morning.
introduce your shoes separately. Waike shoes in the building.
What? I saw this shoes. I
Those
was
shoes
like,
are in a different level. Waike, you're just a
Jenny has come to join us as we are trying to be looking.
There was a time that the cameraman would just zoom into your shoes, but these days now, we don't have that. But how are you doing, Waike?
We don't have the same cameraman, maybe. But I'm sorry I missed the party on
Sunday.
On Sunday, I got my invitation.
Pretty late.
They called me on Sunday morning when I'm already lucky. I don't have clothes.
You always
So I
need
just
4
said,
hours notice.
at least. So I just said, oh, sorry, I can't make it.
But your shoes are totally, they're a statement piece. Like, this is kind of shoe you wear when you wear.
You want to enter the room.
Yes, and people will notice something is going on.
Which room?
Just enter the room.
And then I wanted to say happy belated birthday to Mr. Kola.
Yes.
His birthday is the same day as yours.
Yes,
I just realized today again.
Like
or maybe I knew and I forgot.
Yes, probably forgot.
You know,
like that for many years.
And happy birthday, happy belated birthday to Mr. Kola.
Your show. Good to, you know, it's
Mr.
always been there. It's always been there.
We mustn't forget next year.
Yeah.
In fact, if we forget, we owe you, all of us, on this table.
How are you doing, Tokwe?
I'm very good. I actually slept well. You know, like I told myself I was going to sleep well, and I woke up this morning and I was like, I really slept well.
Fantastic. Positive thinking, positive projections.
And I think it was also because I got feedback that my yams are doing well. I've been a bit panicky about the yams that we planted on one of my estates, and because we were getting feedback that I didn't have the right hands to manage it. So Mr. Rotimi has been amazing, and I got feedback that we're doing well. Our yams are doing well. Very soon, by next year, we'll be able to harvest yams, and then we'll let you know details. But
Nice.
I'm happy.
How are you doing? I love your color.
Thank
Birthday
you.
girl.
Green, like turquoise green or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Aqua. It's like aqua.
Yeah, it's in that family.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm just amazing and living life.
Birthday girl.
Yeah.
Birthday girl.
That's all. How are you doing, Marayo?
Today's what?
Yeah, you're
Tuesday.
just-
I'm
yes.
doing well. You know, I'm doing very well. Yesterday, I was actually I had a lot of paperwork stuff to do, so nothing major. You know, I think, I don't know. Fine.
Yeah. Sometimes we're just fine.
Yeah, we're just
There's
fine.
nothing-
You know, life itself, I'm not sure.
We are still ordering our book now.
Okay, life itself is a story, a recollection of events that shape one's journey on earth. Do you want to share parts of your own stories with the ladies of Your View? This will enable people share in your experience and learn valuable life lessons from them. You can also get answers to troubling questions and positive solutions to any challenge you have. Now, you can do this anonymously or call or send a message to Your View at TVC Communications. You can send your stories to Your View at TVC Communications. What happens is that oftentimes we pick out stories from different sources, but realize that we've been doing this for 10 years. It's time for us to say, you send us your stories directly, and we'd love to actually share these stories and discuss it. Obviously, to be anonymous, if you want your name to be shared, we can also mention your names, but either way, we'd love to have you tell your story and share the burning issues that lets us, as women, as Nigerians living in this country, will also express the views and get other people to express their own views on your matter. So please be very, very be willing or be ready to send your stories to Your View at TVC Communications with an S. Okay, we're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, look at the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
It's too much work. Okay, we're going to start with The Nation. 800,000 liters vessel with stolen crude intercepted and destroyed. Tinubu targets 30 trillion naira revenue in 3 years. Court orders INEC to suspend Adamawa Rec prosecution. Obasanjo lashes lawmakers for fixing their own pay. EcoBank writes a first bank over Otudeco. US waives export duty on cocoa. And sordid tales of Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway users. Okay, which story are we starting with? The major headline?
Major headline. So it says the battle against oil theft has recorded a big gain because an 800,000 liter vessel that was laden with stolen crude oil was intercepted. They said 64 illegal crude oil connections have been discovered, while 77 illegal refineries have been destroyed in the Niger Delta all last week. So the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited said that its private security contractor, Tantita Security Services, were the ones who intercepted the vessel, and the vessel was, destroyed hereafter. And I'd asked the questions like, why do we always destroy these vessels? To me, as a layman, it comes across as just like a huge waste. But but they say that destroying the vessels involved in transporting stolen crude oil is of paramount importance as a strong deterrent, and it's a way of inflicting a huge loss on these people so that they feel it. So that's why they do that. And they're saying that they gave a full description of this vessel that was intercepted with this stolen crude oil. They said they had been operating in stealth mode for 12 years. The last time their location was reported was at the Tinkan port in July 2011. And so this was good. Also, they say that the crude oil may have been extracted from from a well jacket offshore in Ondo State.
Okay, so Zach Adedeji, who is the special advisor to the president on revenue, he was saying specifically that the president or the administration plans to raise 30 trillion naira in the next 3 years. According to him, this will be achieved through technology and data without raising taxes. He added that according to that, non-tax revenue will be the driving force, adding that attention will be given to organized collection in line with the Constitution, which indicates that all collectible revenue shall be channeled into the federal account. He specifically also mentioned that FIRS, NNPCL, NIMASA, and I think those are the three agencies that initially were speculated to be merged. Said they're not merging those agencies. What they're doing, they're merging their revenue allocation. So the collection will be integrated for efficiency. Also, I think there was another important point. He hinted that there will be a change in the tax finance laws, and pretty much so. The good news is that they don't plan to increase taxes. What they plan to do is to be more efficient in the current taxes. According to him, there are 52 various taxes, but only less than 10 are being accounted for right now. So it's just be more efficient and effective in the current one that we're collecting. So he believes that when we do that, the next 3 years we shall have about 30 trillion naira revenue.
Okay, I wanted to talk about the continued neglect of the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway.
Very important.
By the federal government.
Ganga.
And it has left a bitter taste in the mouth of millions in the community, towns and villages along that corridor. The road is really bad. The successive governments have come and ignored the road. According to this report, they put some billions in the reconstruction of the road. Julius Berger had one portion, RCC had another portion. Neither have done the roads. It is the commuters now, the millions of commuters that are suffering, and they took pictures of the craters and these things.
Potholes.
Which area?
The Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway.
There's another one. I'm trying to look for the picture. Somebody sent me a picture also for their own neighborhood. I don't know the name of the place, but there are quite a number of roads within Lagos State also that need urgent attention. I don't have the names now, but if I get
it's raining.
They said when they interviewed Ademola Kuti, he said that 40% of the road has been achieved.
And then passed over time, which will now damage the road that was done.
And they said because cars will take one way, the law enforcement are waiting for them at the other end. They will catch them. So they speed. The pedestrians are getting killed. because they are crossing when those ones are speeding, so people are losing lives on a regular basis, and I think it's just terrible. So the government should please, while they are doing it, they should check
your side
area.
Yeah. But we need to. I think we have
watch
to.
Your video.
Mikey, what I think we need to do every day. Let's get the list of these roads, and every single day in our banter, let's just make sure we repeat it constantly. So maybe they keep forgetting, so we keep repeating it so they don't forget.
Yeah, because I just wanted to say quickly that college road. You know, Fashola did that road.
Yes.
Very fantastic road. Now, because I passed there on a regular, I noticed little holes. That if they don't patch it now, they will become craters.
Oh yeah, well, talk about it, please.
Yes, I want to take the story. One, we need to. It's an event was held to celebrate the legal luminaire 60th year of being called to bar, Fair Babalola, and in Ado-Ekiti at the Babalola University, and the former president was there, and one of his statement made headlines in the nation, talking about the fact that lawmakers shouldn't be the one to determine their pay. So he explained that it was unconstitutional, and even if it was constitutional, it was not moral, that anybody elected into office, their pay should be determined by RAMFAC. That's the constitutional way you should go about it. But that what is being done on the floor of the assembly now is that they are making laws that put emoluments for themselves, and it is very wrong, that many Nigerians are going through challenges, and the lawmakers should be upholding the law. The reason there is that's divide is so that there is checks and balance, and to strengthen Federal Character Commission, and he's saying that that is not going on. So it's just speaking against the fact that lawmakers are determining their own pay.
All right, the Punch, very quickly. Fuel smuggling persists in borders despite subsidy removal, says customs boss. PDP demands transparency as Akeredolu extends his sick leave. Lagos vigilantes torture colleague to death over phone. NLC meets governors over fuel subsidy palliatives. Lagos airport runway lights stolen, 7 suspended. Fayose will pay for working against Atiku, and PDP says NEC member. It's illegal for National Assembly to fix members' pay, says Obasanjo. And Tinubu can't appoint everybody, minister says Adamu. Okay, which story is starting in Punch?
Can I start with the Lagos vigilante?
Please.
He apparently they went for an occasion and a phone got missing. They found the phone with him. What he said happened was when he got the phone, the battery was dying. So he switched it off, or if it went off. And so when they tried to look for the phone was off. They thought he had taken the phone and switched it off. And he was trying to say, no. The battery was dead, so the phone went off. Anyway, they tortured him and locked him in a room.
Oh, gosh.
And they didn't give him food for 2 days. And he was complaining that he was getting weak. And then he gave up the ghost.
Really sad.
The police have arrested all of them involved.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni, Yeni, Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Yeah, take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It all starts.
Ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Aníkúlá Pókùtì. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by all this one. It's not by all this one.
And ask questions if I want to ask questions. And if it's something that I saw coming, I may not even ask questions. I may just. I may even tell you I saw this.
What if it's in person? But then, would it make a difference where? So like, this person might just say, you people can just be on Third Mainland Bridge on a bike, and the person say, babe, I cannot do it again, and you lose range. So what would change? What would change the scenario? Like, does it matter where? Do you want to have like a fancy dinner, like the film you were meant to be
like finding your
or do you want to be on the street?
No, carry me go fancy dinner.
Or you might just una dey run for treadmill.
Or you not a job.
You tell you lose for your web.
Now I don't turn attempted murder.
So which would it be? Because I'm like, in person you have the closure that you want and the few injuries.
Guys, that's one place. It could be inside the car. You can sit down inside the car.
Why car? Why not bike?
Who will be driving?
Why bike?
Who will be driving at this point?
Away the recently reinstalled airfield lighting systems at the domestic runway of Murtala Mohammed Airport. How they did that, but they're saying that these people may have taken advantage of the fact that the runway had been locked for 3 months, and that's when they stole these lights. Like every single one of those lights were taken, and the Fan was not aware of it until recently. So Fan says it's gone ahead to suspend 7 workers, most of them the security personnel. They've been suspended so far. Some people who do not want their names on record said that they believe there's a syndicate that does these robberies at the airport, and it's made up of the security and some members of staff. But of course, Fan spokesperson said it's not possible to put this on their staff. That after all, the airport is one of their busiest. Who would kill the goose that lays the golden egg? It does not make sense, but they have started a serious investigation to find out who this person. But how do you do, from when they were doing it to taking it away?
The only way we can solve this kind of problem in this country is technology. We need CCTV that are functional.
Why don't we have the security people that are accomplices?
What do you say about if the boss also has a phone that he can monitor? Like they are monitoring across board, because really, technology has to be deployed across board. It's sad.
It's so expensive to replace.
Why don't they have CCTV at the airport?
They probably do.
Why
maybe
do they not have
so there's someone that's supposed to be watching the camera.
Then all they have to do is go back,
so they probably,
and it will show.
They probably have it inside the airport, maybe not outside where these lights are. So
you have stowaways. You have stowaways that go to the airport.
Right.
Yeah,
so
remember
we definitely need technology. That's the only way we can fix this. You know, all these problems. Let me take the story and this very interesting article by Senator Abdullahi Adamu. He is the national chairman of the APC. He was telling you people that are just pressurizing the government of Tinubu, saying, please, everybody cannot be a cabinet member. You people should take it easy. That the president is going to be unveiling his ministers' head of ministries, departments, and agencies, said that Tinubu is carrying out an extensive consultation before making an official announcement. But first, he will get the names. They will be vetted. After vetted, it go to National Assembly. After he now picks his minister, we don't even know who's getting what. After they've been vetted and they've been confirmed, then they will not start talking about agencies or board chairman or, that the step is still long. The next 2-3 months we'll start that we're going to be on this. So those of you putting on serious pressure, we know you've worked hard for their campaign. You know you've tried really hard, and everybody feels that they should be patronized. However, all of you cannot become cabinet members. So I've conveyed the message of Senator Abdullahi Adam to Nigerians who are flooding the whole of Abuja, sleeping there, renting, buying houses. Politicians.
Regular Nigerians
in their houses.
Some are even staying in hotels.
Yes,
It's improving the economy within those places.
We heard that some people are sleeping in their cars.
Yeah. Open to the minister.
You know,
Please, I have a story.
Okay. It's not a hot topic.
No. It has to be a hot topic one of these days because I don't understand. Because you campaign for someone doesn't mean that
they owe you.
Yeah.
An
You campaign because you believe in the person, not that I campaign because I want something.
Yes.
Until we get that right.
Okay, but what will happen?
Until we get that right.
That's been the system and the culture for many years.
Yes.
We're so used to it.
Yes.
But hopefully this government will show us otherwise. That listen, you can also in your little ways, you can still be effective. You can support somehow without being visible.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I want to take the story about the Ondo State governor who
You see, it's just paying me.
Don't worry.
Some will follow them to France. Some will follow them to Guinea-Bissau. Some will. What is wrong with you?
All that money that you have.
Okay, we'll make it a hot topic. Let us
Some will follow motorcade.
Why can't finish the paper review time?
let us finish and I'll come to you. Go ahead.
since sadly since the 5th of June, the governor of Ondo State, Akeredolu, hasn't been
Yes, he
around.
hasn't.
He took a sick leave, but he legally handed over power to his deputy governor. However, PDP had cried out that there needs to be more information about the state of things, and they said that the commissioner for information in Ondo State had said she was going to come back. And when he mentioned it, they said lie is not true. And now it's like he has already asked for extension from his leave. He was supposed to return on the 6th of July, but he's asked that the leave be extended. So right now, the Speaker of the Assembly said that he has done the constitutional thing, which is to hand over power to his deputy, and all they can do is to pray for the governor's recovery.
Right.
And we are also praying for the governor's recovery.
When Yaradua was sick, how many did they hand over power?
Abi.
Okay.
Below the belt.
My own is just to sit down and say the truth. I don't want to even be saying. I don't even want to be talking again on this.
Listen. Kuka indicts Buhari's government on corruption. EcoBank tackles Utudeco over debt, shares, and acquisition. FG warns about nose, throat infection. APC postpones national caucus and NEC meetings. Badagry Accident Hospital releases accident victims to relatives. PDP governors meet over party state of affairs. Consider APC members for ministerial other appointments at Adamu tells Tinubu. Terror group bans farmers, fishermen, headers from Borno communities. And Akeredolu extends medical leave indefinitely. Okay. Which story you start?
I have taken the diphtheria story, but I think I want to take the Plateau story here. So I didn't take it in the Sun, I had taken it in Tribune, but I will take it now because of time. And it's still about the killing. I took it yesterday. Remember, I took a story about the killings that happened in Mangu, local government in Plateau State. So we have the youths in Plateau State. They're lamenting, you know, they're giving us some figures again. They said 12 people were killed and another 8, including an 8-month-old child who was returning with her father when, you know, they both met their death. You know, people of the community are just tired of what's happening. They even explained, they said this particular attack that happened, the terrorists arrived in a Vectra vehicle around 9:45 p.m. and opened fire on victims who were heading home from, you know, their daily business. Government has gotten involved, security is doing all their best, but this is something that's happening nearly in every community. They said even after like these major attacks we read on in the papers, daily they have 1 or 2 pockets of attacks happening in different communities. There's also conversations about how to handle these bandits. Is it a negotiation? But then how do you negotiate with people who are clearly just criminal murderers, you know, and they're trying, because all they're trying to do is take acquisition of land that does not belong to them. they're not indigenous, they don't live there, but they want to come and overpower the people. So this is a serious issue, and I hope that the president looks at this and makes it a top, and puts it on the front burner. We have to deal with this issue. We cannot come here every day talking about people in Plateau State being killed left, right, and center as if, we're talking about just numbers. These are human beings. These are people.
If the security chiefs are not doing their job, relieve them of their job and put the one that will do work.
Okay, so yeah, thankfully, I'm going to be talking about, the story I'm taking is about terror groups as well, but it's really not security chief. This is what the police and civil defense should be on ground. We shouldn't be deploying army over or holding them over internal security issues. I know. I know. I just wanted to highlight that. The Sun put the headline that terror groups have banned farmers and fishermen from a Borno community. And when you see that headline, you think like, oh, the terror group is gaining ground. But no, that's not the truth. The Islamic State of West Africa province, ISWAP, has been consistently decimated by the Nigerian Army and the Nigerian Air Force. And they have stopped farmers from coming close to the Mate area, which is where they are now scattered, the new Mate, and that's because they feel like the farmers and fishermen are giving the Nigerian Army information about their whereabouts. And because the level of intelligence and the precision of the attacks that have taken place, they say they've killed over 100 terrorists in the past 1 month, that the areas where they were producing their factory vehicles and their logistics location was destroyed, so they don't have freedom to move around. So they are now all within a small groups within the Mate area, and they did not allow farmers to come to that area, and they've not allowed fishermen to come to the area because they feel like the fishermen are getting information about where they are, and that's how the precision of the attacks were consistent. But if you look at the headline, you would think terror is winning, but the Nigerian Air Force and the military are successfully pushing the ISO people out.
It's all about framing. Okay, now I was going to take the story about following the accident that happened. If you recall, the 19 passengers who were in the Mazda bus that collided in Lagos towards Badagry, towards Benin Republic. 15, according to this report, 15 dead passengers have been released to their relatives. Dr. Olatunde Bakre was saying that 8 others passengers had been also discharged and handed over to their relatives. Most of their relatives came from Benin Republic, with the police reports coming to claim the lives of their loved ones, and they've been released so far to them, and said that for those who are alive, they said they would rather them go and continue their treatment in Benin Republic. But it's quite sad because the doctor said that the Lagos State government had paid for all. They didn't collect any money from all these people. They paid for all the medication, blood, and all the drugs that were given to them, and that no fewer than 14 people and 14-month-old baby died on Sunday morning in the auto accident that happened. Really, really sad. So he collided with I think it was, let me see what it was a truck that was granite filled. Collided with the Mazda bus coming in from Lagos. So the granite filled bus was coming in from Benin Republic, and they collided and all.
What were they doing?
One way or
maybe speedy.
Or maybe a narrow way as well.
Because isn't it a double carriageway? Isn't that really a double carriageway?
So it didn't specify that here, but usually public positive really sad. Okay, moving on now to Vanguard, but we don't have any more time. Let me just take the headline very quickly. Vanguard: corruption's ugliest phase was under Buhari's cooker. Presidential poll: APC already preparing for rerun, says Labour Party. Nigeria has not enjoyed democracy since 1999. NECA to Tinubu: 2023 Finance Act needs complete reversal, not suspension. And 8 killed, property destroyed in 2 Plateau communities. All right, I don't know how APC is planning for a rerun. I don't know, because LP is saying that they're planning for a rerun. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure. I couldn't get a chance to
read
get
that.
the full
and then
story.
what they said that corruption under Buhari was really high. That's an interesting story to read.
We know now. Are we?
But he came in to fight corruption, and then suddenly they are rating.
Okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we return, move on to our hot topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this. Because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? Think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I know.
I don't overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk now. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
That's good walking.
Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without
Wow.
So there's a name that thing that's.
I'm just drinking because you say I should drink. There's no particular answer.
You think it's only that can be wicked?
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
And it's called what again?
Subterfuge.
Such a fuge.
SUBTERFUGE.
So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to be called such. Yeah?
The nude wasn't like a game plan. Or...
I promise you, it was actually a mistake. Like it was sending it to someone, and it just mistakenly just.
Yeah.
It's not just where, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So Laifa had a very, very interesting.
You wouldn't want to work with who?
Not
There's no judgment.
No, and I
Oh,
respect,
they'll judge you
I
definitely,
respect
but we won't
this
judge
certain
you.
type of people. But what I dislike so much is when they tend to come to work and then they pour all their
Resentment from
on
whom?
you. Is it me that offended you? I'm not the one. I have no business. My just come out with you, pay me at the end of the month, and let me go back to my house in peace and sleep. But when it comes to like divorced people, I cannot work with a divorcee. I can't see myself doing that. If I find out, if you can hide it or not, but if I find out,
When they're nice divorcees.
I would just
What
be.
if they are nice?
Okay, now it depends. If you are nice, cool. But if you are the type that you don't know how to keep your anger to yourself, you always pour it on somebody. Well, I'll just drop my resignation letter.
Thanks for staying with us. So, following the newspaper article that we read earlier, where Senator Abdullahi Adamu, the chairman of APC, was saying that not everybody that worked in the APC campaign can become a cabinet member or become a minister or a board member or a chairman of any of the MDA's parastatals. But then he brought up the conversation, which YK started, saying that people have started traveling to France, going with the president to different. Everybody's lobbying because they feel that they believed in this administration and they feel that they can serve. Others are looking at it as, why are they going up and down? Must they be part of the administration? should they be part of what the cabinet that is being put together by the president? That's the question. What are your thoughts? You can call us on 090-241-6344-0081 764-1679. You can also tweet to us at TVC. Can I please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet? So going by what Waike said, we heard your perspective earlier, saying that because you actually campaigned, and definitely you shouldn't expect, therefore, because you campaigned because you were passionate and believe in your candidate, you shouldn't therefore expect to be compensated with a position. That's your view. However, some believe that I sacrificed, I gave up a lot, especially with this kind of campaign that happened. The people who supported this candidate were victimized, were some of them were even insulted, and there was a lot of darts thrown at them with them to speaking for for the president at the time. So they feel that without that wahala, something must drop. So if you look at it as a politician, you feel you're not entitled, but you feel that you deserve it. Others are saying you shouldn't, you don't have to. So what are your thoughts? Let me come to somebody else after I've heard your thoughts. Let me come to you, Mariam.
Okay, you don't think Waike should start it off?
You want to reiterate?
Go on. I am on Waike's side, so let me say what I think. I feel that when it comes to supporting a political candidate, when it comes to supporting an ideology, when it comes to supporting, it should come from support for an ideology. Support for a person should come from a place of, I believe this person will solve the problems of this country. Yeah. If I choose to campaign for a presidential candidate because I feel like I believe in you, not because of what I will get from you. It's like when you do something for someone and it is because of what you in return that you did that thing. I'm only being kind to you. I'm only speaking for you. I'm only defending you because I know that I would need your help in future. I don't believe that that's a system that will grow our democracy. I don't believe that that's a system that will help us move to the next level.
Or even grow you as a human being.
We've done it. We've done it so far, but it is not a sustainable measure. I feel that this administration has a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of work for this administration to do. Like, there is crisis on ground, fire on the mountain everywhere, that the government should not be prioritizing settling politicians and those that supported him, but prioritize who can deliver on the job more. Your kitchen cabinet can be for those you trust, but ministerial position should be for those that can deliver. And right now, it might be a confusing thing for the president to carry out because many people are putting him under pressure to pick them out of their loyalty to his campaign.
Let me come to your initial thoughts, Mariam.
Well done to both of you. I half agree with you, but we have to, whether we like it or not, politics is a career. We have career politicians. That's their job. We have career political investors. That is what they use their money for. And they use their money and their time and their support, hoping that it will bear fruit. Yeah. So you would not be, these sort of people would not be part of a party or a person that they do not believe will deliver or can deliver in such a way that, yes, the country would see better, but also in seeing better, they are being paid for the work that they have put in. Why is it that we put a lot of emphasis on parties coming together or like minds? You're hoping when you do that is because you need people of that like consolidate, come together, not only for their numbers. Elections don't happen for free. Yeah. Logistics, it is not free. There's so many things that are done. You're traveling by air, by road, by sea. There's food that's supposed to be given, people that are supposed to be paid. How do you think that happens? Yeah. The person running for office is likely, some of them unlikely to even have any sort of money. The party picks someone that they believe has the has the wherewithal to lead the party to win votes, but someone has to make sure that this happens. Someone has to make sure that the person is able to move from one point to the other. Have the campaign people move from one point to the other. When people go to different states and gather crowds, how do you think it happens? So we have to.
That's your talent.
Good. So we also have two parts of politics that people try to push, which is when you hear the arguments, oh, let's not go this political route anymore. These are old politicians. This is how they've done it, because the politicians are using political power and political influence to push for votes. So when people say the masses need to stand up, that's what they're talking about. So you, regular Nigerian, wherever you are, you stand up, you give of yourself little contributions. That is another way. But even in that, it needs regular Nigerians to invest in it. There is money that has to be put in it. You know, we remember those old women that will say, I'm a widow and I've given my last amount of money to this person. This person, that person. So I'm explaining to you the two different ways. So these Nigerians that do that, what they're saying is that at the end of it, just make sure Nigeria works. Right. But we must recognize that they are politicians, that this is their job.
All right, let me bring an angle here. I just want to sorry, because
yes, can I just add something? So I know someone who is a politician, right? I'd never even known how much work and money that they put in. And I know how this person works like every other day, every other month, through the 3 years, trying to raise funds for the party, for party events. And then when the time comes for, general elections, even if that person is not running for office, he's someone that they go to. He has become a person of influence in that party, because this person is using his daily grind and daily money to further a cause. So let us, maybe when Nigerians understand that this is what is happening, then we'll have a better understanding of how our politics work. And then now to decide on what the ideology is, knowing that all political parties are the same. But okay, what is then your ideology per party? So there was a meeting I attended. Remember, I had the opportunity to be in campaigns, and it was really interesting to see various perspectives. And I was in a committee where there was a gentleman who was complaining. He was telling us how he has done exactly what Mariam just described. Regular guy, doesn't have a lot of money, but he's been there. He's worked even since the president was the governor. He's been in the grassroots politics, and he's done. This was talking about all the stuff he has done. Because when we lost the committee, we lost the initial campaign, and they're not strategizing for Governor Sanwo-Olu's campaign. He came out and said, "Listen, there are issues here." He was trying to explain that he's been there. But as he was speaking, there are other people who are foreigners, the Nigerians who from the abroad. They came back. They're also in the committee. So he was trying to suggest that they bring in all these foreigners, right? After we've done all the groundwork, all you Nigerian in the diaspora now come in and then take on position, because everybody who lives abroad feels like I can come home to become governor, to become this, and they feel like they've done the groundwork. So sometimes people always feel like, listen, those of us are at home. Nobody's looking at us. But it's also important to note, when, as a nation, where we are today, should we rely on those who have done the groundwork, who deserve it, or the competent ones who have had the experience, who can actually take us to the next level? It's a very difficult position for a president to be.
Okay, can I just say something?
Please.
The big mistake that most of these politicians make, career politicians make, is I want reward for the work that I did. Now, when you want reward for the work that I did, that means that your reward is when you get there, you want to start chopping.
No,
wait, let me talk. Let me finish. When you are saying, because if I campaign for you, I don't campaign for anybody.
Yes.
If I campaign for you, it is because I believe in you and I want my country to go to the next level. I want my country to be there. I have decided to live in Nigeria. I can live anywhere I want in the world, but I have decided to live here. That is, take the good and the bad. Everything together is my own. Now, you, Murayo, say you want to run for presidency, and I say, okay, for president. And I say, okay, I'm going to back you.
Yes.
But I want something. That means that me, I'm a thief. You are a thief.
No.
Let me tell you why.
Let me correct that.
Let me finish. You can correct me later. When you are waiting for reward, what reward do you want? More than to go there and be signing contract paper and chopping 10%. That is, we don't want those kind of people again.
Amen.
So, my advice to the president, I don't know him, but if I were you, I will only choose the people that can do the work.
Okay.
Whether you work for me or you didn't work for me, I can pay you salary for that one.
Okay, why
take your salary for working for campaign. Okay. But to say that I work for campaign and I want money, or I want not even money, position, what do you want to do with that position? Are you even competent?
Good.
Okay, that's a fantastic question, and I think you're very correct. Yeah. And everybody listening to you will totally agree with you. However, that's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it, if you campaigned for me, and I become president, you might not need a ministerial work. But you have 1 trillion other family members, cousins. Well, listen, I let you finish. Hear me finish. You have a son who went to Harvard. You have somebody that went to clinical country, whatever. They're all back, educated, smart, right? You come to me, Muriel, please, help me. My younger brother just got back from Harvard. My cousin's brother is clinical. You're not taking contract from you. You don't want 1 naira from me. But you are bringing me references because you believe that you have invested in me to get there. So don't always assume that the reason why I am relocating myself to go and meet the president is because I want to be minister. It could be because I want a favor. I want to secure a position. I want you to keep 2 slots for me. There are different ways. But it's not everybody that's going there to come and chop money. That was the point I was trying to make. You are right. Some go there to go and collect what they can chop. But others are going there to get their own slots for their own people. That's the truth.
So, Mariah, even people. So, this chopping of money is not left to only career politicians. People that were seen as to be technocrats, private sector people, smart and wanting the best for the country. They go there and they chop money. So, let's move this chopping money and putting only, yes, it's not a career political thing. It's an individual behavior. It's your greed. When I believe that parties are made up of different kinds of people. They are made up of those who are really educated, very exposed, people who have different sort of, experience in their jobs. So when these parties come, when you have done the work, we will look amongst ourselves, those who are qualified.
Competent, exactly.
Those who are competent. We're not going to now look outside. We will not even look at our, the opposition, because how am I sure that I bring in an opposition to be part of my cabinet?
Let me pause you for a second. That's a different conversation because some people can actually bring in opposition.
Wait, but if I learn the point, maybe you understand. There has to be, yes, if I bring in an opposition into my cabinet, even though I know that this person is the best, would the person work for the betterment of that party and of my country? Will not try to sabotage me in such a way that it will make me look bad and then indirectly working for the opposition.
Okay, let me go on a break. When we come back, we continue the conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The one that is working.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay,
thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink.
Huh?
No problem.
Okay.
I've always known it as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. It's out there.
It's supposed to be,
yeah. I just said, let me give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
It's final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final answer.
You don't have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
How many cameras do they have? My friend to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Made Kuti in the view. It's still 7 of 7, and we've been doing a whole lot of protesting. The only thing that remains is just to carry placard.
It's about 5 of 7, to be honest. Because, ask your question. I have so much to speak about once we finish.
We will not give you the time because it's 7 of 7.
I will make the time now. He said he will not ask questions about science.
No.
About neuroplasticity.
And based on
he asked a question that was subjective about high life, and he did not finalize his answer about a Kuti question where there are only 3 of us.
Editor, scratch this part out.
That could have possibly composed the music.
Editor, scratch this part out. context.
Stupidity is an act of ignorance.
Hey God, Madi.
Was composed by which Kuti?
Femi Kuti.
Is that your final answer?
God, I'm Seun Kuti. No, wait, Femi Kuti.
You said
Femi Kuti. Wait.
You can't be allowed.
No, you've not asked me anything.
Everyone.
You've not asked me anything. So my final answer.
No. All I have to say is this show is really about drinking.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
The questions don't matter.
That's the whole
Justice
idea.
is out the window.
We throw caution to
we
the
have
wind
no
right
morals here.
On the 7 of 7.
So we're still discussing this very hot topic, and Mariam said something I thought was really important before the break. Said some technocrats actually steal than even regular politicians, you know, and we always assume the narrative is that, oh, politicians are going there because they want to take, but some of these people who are supposed to be in the private sector, they are the ones going for deals because they say they supported. So there are different angles to this, but let me come to talk about your thoughts on this that we said so far.
Okay, so one, I feel that the true reward for supporting a political campaign should not be a personal reward, but a national reward. Because if you stand and suffer for a campaign, this campaign, particularly for our current president, was very, very
toxic.
People that stood for the president were insulted and cursed, and they were like, their life was even threatened based on their support for the president. But I don't believe that that should have been done because you want personal gain or personal recognition. If you get recognition, good. But the goal for anyone who supported Asiwaju to become the president should be that I believe it could solve our national problem. And if I remember during the campaign, everybody kept saying, we love what we did in Lagos, we want them to do it on. Why would you be fighting for your family member? That's nepotism. Why shouldn't you be fighting for the fact that nobody should have to know somebody to get a job? Nobody needs to know someone to get a job in Nigeria. Why don't we create a system so that everybody, the system works so much that there's more employment, that as you are graduating, you will get a job automatically. You don't need to be connected. If we are building a system that is going to stand and reward everybody, it should reward all Nigerians and not loyal Nigerians.
Or would you say that's in a perfect world, Dr.
Of course, there will be. If I have people that call me for financial needs, and I'll tell them, I cannot help you out financially, because whatever little resource I have, I'll prioritize my immediate constituency for financial support. There's that part. And my immediate constituency is what the president has done, which is my kitchen cabinet are my loyalists. My chief of staff must be my person. You know, everybody that is in my immediate, but my minister must be someone that I trust can do the job, and I will first search within my area, which is my party. So there's a bit of what the reward system, but it's not that I don't believe that Nigerian politicians and supporters should be entitled to getting something.
But do you,
and that's what we get now.
But do you think we put politics over competence?
We get people now who feel because I have worked for you in this campaign, I should be entitled to get a position.
So I get that.
What I'm
so
against.
I get that. But if that person is competent, I'm a politician, but I'm equally competent because I have experience.
Fantastic.
So why would you assume therefore I'm there because I'm a politician?
I actually wrote it down. I said that we don't have. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be separate. You don't need to be either a technocrat or a politician.
You could be both.
We have politicians that are people that have run their own businesses and they are loyal to a party and they like a system and they are registered party members and they worked for a campaign, but they are technocrats. What I have issues with is people that they have not built any business in their life, and they have done nothing. All they have done is grassroots politics, and then they will now get into positions to do what?
Absolutely. So like they are going
people.
Going by.
Before you know it,
Let's give an example.
Minister to do what?
Example, for example, the former governor of the former deputy governor of Lagos State, Femi Pedro, who was giving his experience, he was giving a tribute to Shibomi Balogun, late Shibomi Balogun, and he was talking about his experience in banking, how he started, how the late Otunba gave him an opportunity. That was what led to him becoming it. So you can be a technocrat and still become a politician. Now, without someone like that, Femi Pedro, now tomorrow, because maybe he worked in the campaign, they're now making the minister say, oh, because he's a politician. But he actually
brought something. Yes.
CV, you will know that. That's what I'm saying. So there are people.
But also, though, was a point you made. Even if I, the politician that is part of the campaign and I'm making all the sacrifices for my party, if I am not qualified and I have someone, or I have a child that is qualified, and then you bring someone else that's not even part of the party, and you bring these two and say, I'm looking to fill this position. And both of them, their CVs are good and everything. If you're to choose, who would you choose? Would you choose YK's person because YK has been part of this party and giving the best to that party and been giving?
What if my person is a thief?
No, they have to find
that good. Okay,
two people are here now. They both have good pay. Their CV is great, but you have to pick one. Who will you pick?
It's not this. It's the person that's most familiar.
Who would you pick? YK. YK,
I will investigate both of them.
Oh, yes.
After
your investigation,
the one that has the most experience.
Yes.
Regardless of
whether it's my person or not.
And if it is your person,
look, the thing is, what I want is for my country to be all right. And you see, Tinubu has all the money now, so he doesn't need money again. What he needs now is legacy. And legacy is him doing the right thing at the right time. Now is the right time. He shouldn't worry about whether they will support me in 4 years' time. If you are doing the right thing, Nigerian people will support you.
Bam. Let me take this call from Festus and I'll come to you. Thanks for calling, Festus.
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
You know, politics is a game. There are people that are doing the funding. So if they don't recuperate, where did they get the funds from? To maintain party alone. Each time they go to their meeting places, they give them money. There is no place where they manufacture money. So this money must come from somewhere. There are people that are running those parties. So, you know, during the time of Awolowo, it used to be party politics. It is the party that will say, if you vote for us, you are not voting for individual. Tinubu there is only representing APC. And APC is not a one-man show. So if they lose, all of them will lose. For the next 4 years, they become, you know, side lookers. And that is why they are putting all what you have so that they succeed. You have technocrats within the party. So people don't see things the way you see it. Who never took part in the campaign, who never suffer, will now come because they have one thing or the other. If you look inward, during the time of how they always have ideology, it is all cardinal points. So,
all right,
whether it's A or B, the party will tell you what to do. So the minister is not going to use his blame. It is the party, what the party gives out, that the party will say, go and execute for us. So they will take the blame. That is the way it is being run.
All right. Thank you very much.
I couldn't really hear what he was saying. I just want to say one more thing. I want to bring it home. Bring this thing home to this table.
Hey.
Shebi Murayo was running up and down campaigning for this president.
Was
True or false?
yeah.
There was nowhere. In fact, she was not on the show half of the time because she was running about. After the election, what did she do? She sat her ass down here. Did she go and why is she still not campaigning up and down, waiting for position? She's here doing her work.
Because she had a job before going there.
Challenge the career. But what I'm saying is, it is not about it. I believe that she did it because she believed in the person.
I know that.
Not because of what she's going to gain as a human being by being Minister of Women Affairs or something.
Absolutely. And you see, we need to be that your style of campaigning for someone is what we need to push for more. Murayo, listen. Murayo, listen.
A lot of people are like me. They went there for the vision.
Murayo,
you'll be surprised.
I know our conversations that I'm like, people assumed Murayo would lobby for things or she'll get something. And she's been saying over and over again she doesn't want. Even this weekend, I'm saying, Murayo, you should lobby, you should get, because we all expect it, because it's our system. But it's not, that shouldn't be our system. Because that system has brought us to where...
If you try it.
No, but that system has brought us to where we are. So, no, please. It has brought us to where we are. And if it has not worked for us so far, it means we should review it a little bit. That's number one. Number two is, YK said something about he already has money. That was the campaign we thought with Buhari to the President Buhari
already has integrity.
He already has integrity. He's old. He wants to leave a legacy. At the end of the day, what we are hearing is worrisome. So bringing it back to the topic of what should we do at this point in time, I feel that the key thing that the president should do is what is done in Lagos State 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, which is prioritizing the roles that you need to fill and looking for people who have the competence to deliver the promise you made to Nigerians and put them in those roles. Now, in any other way, you can support those that were loyal to you, because I believe that if you don't support them, they will not come back to you again. But the priority, Nigerians right now, what we are expecting from you is to deliver.
I'll come to you, Mariam, in a second, because let me come back to YK. YK, if somebody feels that you are Fela's daughter, and the music, you are passionate about music and entertainment industry in general, and they want to help you to make you, or somebody, maybe DG, something, maybe tourism, or something in that area, not because you're coming to come and chop, but because they believe you have value, and you have to provide, to put in. Nobody's saying you come and chop, because in fact, this presidency, I don't even know how many people can actually chop, because the man is not giving anything for anybody to chop. But you, there's no money to chop anymore. There's no more money. We don't have any more money anymore. So you are coming to serve. So why would I now, as a Nigerian, assume you're going to come and chop? No, you're not, because we know who you are. So why do we always assume that anybody who is takes a position is going there to chop? That's the wrong narrative.
Nobody assumed. What I said was, if you, because you campaign for somebody, are waiting for a position, then you have, and it's not because you are competent. It's not because you are competent. Then I can assume that you are going to chop. Not because I can be sitting in my house and you come and call me. Hey, I didn't lobby, I didn't beg, I didn't crawl, I didn't follow motorcade. Come on.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
We are seeing the way they are behaving now.
I get your point now. Let me take this call. Good morning, Shola. Thanks for calling. You're live. Oh, I'm so sorry, Shola. Please try to call him back. Let me come to your point before I go to break.
I think also we need to understand that the politics, when we say this politics, it's about relationships. Politics about relationships. I remember then, in Jos, we'll be hearing, in Lagos State, the reason why it's working or is working so well is because they put the technocrats as governors, and then we have these people behind the scenes that are taking care of the politics. And what is this politics? Oh, the families in Lagos, the Omoniles, the people who have always lived in Lagos who feel, governance has sort of encroached on their rights. So there's someone on the back end that's taking care of that so that the technocrats can do their job. So we're not going to give politics a bad name just because we know we have antecedents of politicians and misbehaving, but I'm saying that the politics itself is about someone who is handling human relations. So when we say that people should now forget about what it is that they have put into the work that they have put into the parties and just give it up. People will not want to be part of political parties. Then there will be no need to have political parties. Then everybody should just sit down in their homes. No need for campaigning for anyone. Just sit down in your homes, put up pictures, and then thumbprint whatever it is that you can thumbprint and go ahead. But it will not work that way because someone needs to hear more about this person. I'm sitting down here I'm sitting in Zamfara. Someone was talking about a Tinubu, was talking about an Obi. Who are these people? What have they done? Who are the people that will tell this message going forward? And in every party, there are different sets of people. There are those who this is their career. That's all they do from morning till night. This is what they are doing. There are people who are technocrats, who they're doing their work, but everybody also knows that they support this ideology. Then there are people who are just hoping that something will fall on my shoulder. For the person, for the party, they understand the different contributions everyone is making, and they should give based on the contributions that they have given, or based on their competence. And secondly, you need to sort of reward loyalists for what they have done, so that you can have a party. No, I will not give. If you've been following me and taking pictures of me, I will not take you and make you a minister. That makes me incompetent. So that makes
Okay, let me go on a quick break. We'll come to the final segment. I mean, final segment of this. Final few minutes. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your view.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help welcome to the show La General, the one and only Pere Egbe. Which of the following is false about teeth? We are born with 20 primary teeth. Teeth are the hardest substance in the body. Teeth are the strongest bones in the body.
Teeth is not a bone, actually.
Teeth can self-repair.
The strongest bone in the body. No, teeth is not a bone.
Final answer.
Teeth is not a bone. You know what came to my head now? That sound. Crickets.
So, editor, you can put that cricket sound there. Where you can still put it down too.
When was the first Gulda ultimate search? Editor?
Don't put any cricket sound. I'm talking. Okay, Per. How many times has Ghana qualified for the World Cup?
5 times. Hey, bro, you can't do that now.
That's what it is.
Wait. Calm down. Why are you like this?
This is your team.
Small play now.
They will not
Somebody cannot play with you again.
They will not be impressed though. The team that you're supporting. And
Ghana will be alright.
Yeah, that's last.
Charlie? Cheers, Charlie.
Ladies and gentlemen, multiple award-winning actor, producer, ambassador of Edo people, we have Etinosa Idemudia in the building.
Not be first to go police station, they win the case.
Is
So
she?
you are showing yourself.
I go see as my second
You are
question.
feeling like a contact the prancing peacock. I'm about to cut your wings. Hello. Now, in the amalgamation of 1914, who was the woman who drew the line of the amalgamation? Who cut the report? Who is the person that used scissors? What is his name?
That woman.
You have done me dirty. I've marked your face. I've marked your face. If anything happened to me today,
I don't
if I don't reach my house. Anyway, I'm gonna be chauffeured, so.
Thanks for staying with us. As we wrap up on this, let me take a few comments on social media. Somebody says, as a politician, it's about what they get. It's the reasoning. It's the reasoning for politicians. It's a politician is all about interests. They say that the person also said we just need to do more orientation to change the narrative. So according to this person, politics is about interests, and people are only there because of the interest they have. Go ahead.
Even though Ganduje didn't understand Yoruba, he traveled around Nigeria with the current president Tinubu after Tinubu's victory and was in the city when Emilokon started. Ganduje was somewhere persuading delegates on the night of the primaries. Please be loyal, it pays YK. Sorry, there was this one I was going to read.
Do we have anyone?
Yes, I was.
YK is just an activist.
As in, people are just, you know, this is a challenge. We create opinion and we feel like this is our fact. Okay. And I'll keep on saying it over and over again that your opinion does not make it fact. The fact that everybody does not make it fact. Somebody is here saying that, are we pretending that Mariah is not actively handling for a media aid appointment because you are inside her mind and you are following her everywhere? I deliberately said it on TV because I've been pushing her. The truth is your assumption does not make it a fact. He said there is hardly anyone out there who honestly, genuinely wants a better nation. Everybody just wants their bread.
I want a better nation.
As always. Emmanuel,
I want a better nation.
The minority. You are among the extreme minority of Nigerians who believe that the only thing that they are looking for is better, because we all know. We saw NSAS. You might be rich in a poor country. You just need crisis and you are nothing. So we all want passionately.
I think what we're also trying to push for.
Can we blame them? Because the truth is that since democracy, that's all they've seen. No, hang in there.
Not all they've seen.
That's what most of them are focusing on. Where we have seen that people actually only focus on their interests. That all the campaign, we've seen activists become politicians. And people who have been talking on Twitter, being politicians. 2 seconds later, they get into office and they become special advisors and they keep quiet. We've seen it over the years. That's the truth. So when people have that perspective, we can't totally blame them. So it's either we come in with a new narrative. It's going to take time. The same way it's going to take time for us to trust government. It's also going to take time for us to change the narrative, because people always believe that no matter how you support a government, it's because of your own interest.
So let me say why I've been telling Mariah that she should consider.
Leave Mariah out of this conversation.
No, because I mentioned
so let's take her out of this conversation.
I mentioned it already, and I said that, and I'll say it because sometimes when we don't, you said something about.
Are you
saying your story?
Right?
No,
just leave Mariah out of the conversation. Honestly,
we talk about finishing our story, and the reason is because somebody would. If you don't tell your story, somebody would create a story for you, and it will remain out there. So we must tell our story, because I started this conversation, and what I was saying was, you are good, you are selfless, you love this country, you want to serve this country, and that's why you feel like if I go into it, it will spoil my name. When we don't have you there, then other people that don't care about their name will get there. Do you understand and see what I'm saying? If YK gets an appointment, 100% she will serve Nigeria. 100%. But she will not go there because she feel like, I don't want anything that will tarnish my name. So all of us are saying, I don't want anything that will tarnish my name, so we don't get involved. So who leads us? Who will give us a better country? If all of us say, I don't want my name tarnished, I don't want to go there, we must get involved, even if it's to an extent it might make it look like people will rob me or insult me the wrong way. Anyway, that wasn't my point. It was just this message that made me go there, because that's the reason I'm saying get involved. All of us.
So I think where also we would like to see our parties go, and this conversation leads to that, which is every party needs to have a strong ideology. That's what we're saying, because in the countries that we are emulating, they do this sort of politics as well. They have parties, they have Democrats, they have Republicans, and they stand for different things. And so that's what we want for our APCs and PDPs and LPs. We don't want them to look like the same sort of party. And then this cross-carpeting makes it hard for people to understand what really it is that you stand for. So I think that's all that I want going forward, that I would like to see change in our party structure.
My own final thought, please. Pick up people only based on competence. Please, that's all I'm begging you.
Yeah, I think
because this Nigeria, we don't have two. We only have one.
We have to.
And we don't have time. We don't have any more time to waste.
Yeah. One second, I'll come to you. Hassan, thanks for calling. You're live.
Okay.
You have to run.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Please, I would like to say something about this technocrat or no technocrat.
Okay.
Look, let me tell you, let us give credit to the foot soldiers, people that campaign for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to victory. And I'm very sure that the president is very conscious of that. Because the way I'm seeing people going about this issue of technocrat or not technocrat is a way of edging out some people. Who told you that among the politicians, people that can vote for the vote for Tinubu, there are no technocrats? We have many technocrats among them. And for you to campaign for Tinubu, that means you identify with the mission and the vision of Tinubu. So for you to be in that government, I don't see anything wrong about it. You see, we have to be very careful, because most of these governors that campaign for him are technocrats. They perform wonderfully well in their respective states, including Kanduze, people like Erfai, people like Batawale, and many more of them. So please, we should not consider it.
Okay.
It is one thing to be a technocrat, it's another thing for you to be patriotic.
Thank you very much,
So
Mr.
let
Hassan.
us draw a line, please.
Thank you. Final words.
Erfai is a technocrat.
Yeah.
Oh, of course he is.
Let's come to
I wanted to please just say that
And the politician.
the real story when we talk about this thing is we need to change our campaign financing model. If our campaign financing is not heavy on some individuals, if our campaign finance is actually a collective of beliefs, people that truly just want to donate to support a system, it would reduce the pressure of the party feeling like we need to reward these people that heavily financially supported the campaign. It will also reduce the way the former Senator Oji Zokali was crying, and Nigeria was not fair to him because he financed PDP over several years. An individual shouldn't be able to say that, because the money that brings the party together should come from the pockets of people that believe that the party can deliver for them.
Okay, I have to wrap up.
Let's tell Wike that, right?
Because
Wike feels he has done so much for
We must
people.
also remember that, we were talking about nepotism earlier. You remember that Trump also hired a few of his
family, not
members.
his children. His children.
Obama also hired from the opposition. So there are different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
But we also actually have to get our president to cast the nets across. It will be great. Yes, there'll be issues of sabotage, possible sabotage, but it's important for me to ensure everybody is in the net. And as YK has repeatedly said,
I want to answer
let's get only competent people into the cabinet. We have to wrap up.
I'm sorry. Everyone, that is all Nigerians.
Nigerians. That's what I meant. Across the country, Nigerians, all regions.
Yes, that's how it should be covered. So in the party, there are people from different states and local government.
What do you think? Carry
anywhere.
Okay, that is all we can take on this hot topic. When we come back, move on to another really important topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Not just where, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So Laifa had a very, very interesting...
You wouldn't want to work with who?
There's no judgment.
No, and I
they'll
respect,
judge you
I
definitely,
respect
but we won't
this
judge
certain
you.
type of people. But what I dislike so much is when they tend to come to work and then they pour all their
resentment from
on
whom?
you. Is it me that offended you? I'm not the one. I have no business. Mom just come out with you, pay me at the end of the month, and let me go back to my house in peace and sleep. But when it comes to like divorced people, I cannot work with a divorcee. I can't see myself doing that. If I find out, if you can hide it or not, but if I find out,
When they're nice divorcees.
I would just
What if they are nice?
Okay, now it depends. If you are nice, cool. But if you are the type that you don't know how to keep your anger to yourself, you always pour it on somebody. Well, I'll just drop my resignation letter, no matter the amount you're paying me.
So it's more passive-aggressive people.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, definitely.
And I cannot work with stingy people.
See this one.
Because you cannot be passing me in the morning, afternoon. I can say, yeah, I'm working. Oh, yeah, take 100 naira, take 10K, take 15K. You don't have to be my sugar daddy or sugar mommy. See, the way you treat others is the way they will treat you outside. And if you cannot treat your workers well, they are not a good boss. If you cannot be dashing me small thing or giving me donuts when I'm working, you are not a good person.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas.
It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. So our next topic is related to drug abuse. So a Nigerian doctor recently reported a photo that rapper Olamide posted on his page. The Nigerian doctor mentioned that the photo news shows canisters of nitrous oxides close to the bed Olamide sat on, assuming or alleging that the nitrous oxide has been inflated, the gas has been inflated into the balloons which Olamide was allegedly sniffing. According to his tweet, he said, "We just finished a space with NDLE about people doing balloons." So that's the new thing where they put the gas in balloons and then begin to inhale and blow out. Peep the picture, see canisters of nitrous oxide close to the bed, obviously pumped into the balloon Olamide is inhaling. And maintain, if we all win a war, if we're going to win a war on hard drugs, we need to clamp down on celebrities. So that's the foundation of our conversation this morning, because that's the new trick out there. You know, it seems that many people are inflating balloons with nitrous oxide, which, according to this report, is a gas that gives you a certain kind of high, causes confusion, headache, gives you this sense of relaxation. You know, that can also be detrimental, obviously, to your health if you keep sniffing it in. So,
I don't know if this is correct, but they say it's also called laughing gas. I think a lot of people know that by that name.
Right. So, I mean, this is the conversation we're having. I know that very soon we're going to be having somebody from NDLEA to give us a bit more insight into balloons. Mr. Femi Obafemi, to be joining us very soon. But before that, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Nitrous oxide. I mean, have you guys heard of balloons?
So, when this, bless you. So I saw this same message, and we definitely have a drug pandemic in Nigeria. We have many people that are, that the conventional drugs is no longer effective, and that's the thing about our body. Human body tends to always get used to something. If you have been giving it coffee all the time, it might at some point just not give you the effect again. So we've gotten through several types of drugs. There were times when they were using just cough syrup, and then they went into the pain relievers. We've done so many types of drugs, and now we are going into gas, and we are finding a stylish way to inhale the gas and get the feeling. Yes, I agree that without celebrities we cannot achieve much, because celebrities make everything look glamorous and people want to look like celebrities. So a celebrity does something that is horrible and we copy it and we do it. And I feel NDLEA has their job cut out for them, because you cannot penalize most of these celebrities. A lot of them don't live in Nigeria, but their market is in Nigeria. So how do we address the fact that they are not in Nigeria? Their market is in Nigeria, and they are influencing Nigeria negatively.
Let me pause you for a second. Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
This is 7 of 7. My name is OJ, and signing Insecurity into my hands tonight on this social experiment called the 7 of 7 is Owen
What is the name, or what was the name? You see, I want to make them better now.
Rock Heart.
No, of the goat. When they brought it on stage.
The name of that goat.
Yeah.
We should go there.
No, that one easy now.
I'm just drinking this so that I can ask him my own questions. It's not because of
Buga.
He didn't get it. You know. Okay. Mention 10 female stand-up comedians in Nigeria. See, just mention their stage name. If you annoy me, you will mention
gas in those canisters. But the doctor from this tweet is alleging that those canisters are filled with nitrous oxide, and that is what we're trying to speak against, because according to many, it's the new gas young people are using. They call it balloons. You just see them blowing balloons. You think they're just playing balloons, but no, it's actually drug abuse that they're being abused. They're abusing the drug. Let me come to you, Liz. Have you heard of this balloons?
So I had seen a video a long time ago, and it looked like Nigerian artists, and they had balloons everywhere. Innocent to me, I thought, oh, nice party. Yeah, but then I started seeing in the comments, and people were talking about drugs. So it took me, of course, down the rabbit hole of finding out, oh, it's laughing gas, they're inhaling it. And people were saying that it's also a waste of drug abuse because it just keeps you euphoric for about a minute or two. And so what it means that they now consume it over and over and over again. And it has, the truth is that it has serious negative impact on your health and your mental health. Eventually, they said some people can even be unconscious depending on how much of it that you take. And it's so dangerous, especially if you also take directly from the canister. So that's why maybe they're using these balloons. Yeah. I think what is more dangerous is the glamorization of the drugs by our artists. And the sort of content our artists are putting out there. Our young children are all over them. They are constantly, consuming all this content that they put out. And it's important that as a country, we need to stand up. As Nigerian adults, the reasonable ones, we need to stand against this. We need to insist that people cannot put up. These are things that you even do in the privacy of your home. If you want to be mentally deranged in your own home by yourself, caused by yourself, do it in your home. Don't put it in on a public space. So that's where also we talk about social media and how we need to regulate it so that people understand, okay, this your content is for 18 plus or whatever. But also, there are things we don't want our 18, 19-year-olds in the university to do, because that's really the age that is much more impressed by what our artists and celebrities are doing. We need, they're so impressionable, but also they want to be the cool guy, the cool girl, just like them.
I also posted and said, just posted a picture of him and a lady both blowing the balloons and put unruly. Now, that's glamorizing negativity.
And like the question I asked, I don't know how we can, what can the government do in such a case? It does not live in Nigeria.
People now.
It doesn't live in Nigeria. It doesn't. We cannot, there's nothing we can do about it. You can't hold him accountable. He does not reside here. He only comes probably here to perform and go. He can choose not to come and perform at all, and he will still be influencing what happens here. Is there anything the government can do, like what they do in, is it that we should appeal to their sense of responsibility?
We the people.
Like we should appeal to the sense of responsibility of these celebrities, that you are influencing young people while you might be able to control yourself, pay for rehab, get proper medical checkup when you're done. Your followers don't have the money or live in the place where they can get rehab or get medical support, and they're copying you. So maybe be responsible for your followers that live in Nigeria, that they're using their last card to go and buy what they see you doing.
Thank you for that point, because that's a very important point. Many of these celebrities live abroad, and the audience there somewhat they make choices. They have options. Even they have a rehab that's functional. But your main followers are here in Nigeria. And these little kids are listening and watching this, and then they feel it's cool. Just like Mariam said, you see, we have to clamp down on many of these celebrities, because the truth is that it's the easiest, lowest hanging fruit is to blame government. Government did this, government did that, because that's the easiest thing to do. But forgetting that we are also responsible as individuals, as public figures, as well as politicians, and even as celebrities. Let me engage the spokesperson of NDLA, Mr. Femi Babafemi, is always there to support us on more information about this. Good morning, sir. Are you there? Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much. Very good morning to you.
We are so grateful to have you on the show this morning because that video of Olamide went viral. As I said, I didn't want to categorically state indeed that it's nitrous oxide that was in the canisters, but based on the doctor who tweeted this, he's alleging that's what it was. But in your own view, tell us about these balloons. How far wide is it across the country at this point?
Well, it's something that has been in use of recently, especially for recreational purposes, and we've been monitoring that development, I can tell you. And fortunately or coincidentally, the Dr. Shina, who tweeted about that, we had to bring him to our Twitter space where we engaged with the young people recently to discuss the effects and the consequences of this particular gas, so that our young people will not be misled by the so-called celebrities or role models who actually should not be anybody's role models. We indeed had a good conversation. Quite a lot of our young people across the world joined that conversation. But having said that, I'll tell you that indeed this particular gas is what a number of our celebrities are abusing at the moment, and not just abusing it, but they are also coming on the social media space to glamorize these things, to mislead their followers, and that's exactly where the NDLA, I can tell you that as we speak, the chairman of the NDLA, having been properly briefed about some of the developments, he's actually a director all our commands across the country to go all out and clamp down on those who are selling this illegally and those who are consuming this, right, notwithstanding your status, whether celebrities or no celebrities. They are going to be hearing from the agency, because we cannot fold our hands and allow these people to mislead our young people, because these have consequences on their head and on their lives.
All right. Question?
I was going to say that we live in a permissive time right now, and parents will have a lot of work to do with our very young ones. I think for many of us, we're still at the stage where we can control 99%, you know, so that's a lot of work to do. We cannot fold our arms, we cannot be careless, and we need to speak more to them, show them examples of how this behavior leads to, you know, bad mental health, bad future for these people. But then I know that there are parents of those who have children who are teenagers in university, and they are finding themselves and taking risks and being adventurous. That must be a tough time for them as well. So that's the part I talk about, that government will have to step in, because there's so much as a parent that you can do right now with your child who's away in another state or another country, living their lives. You just hope that in this situation, the government can come in and.
All right. let me come and ask this question, Mr. Babafemi. These canisters, I mean, what are you doing? Where do they get them from? Is it at the party stores? Is it where exactly do they buy these canisters from? And what are you doing to clamp down on whoever is bringing it into the country?
Unfortunately, at the moment, nitrous oxide is not something that is banned. In fact, it's part of it's one of the directives by the chairman of the agency to liaise with the Federal Ministry of Health to see how the distribution or the sale of this particular substance can be brought under control, strict control, like it's been done to opioids like codeine and tramadol. It's something that is for medical use, used by dentists and other medical practitioners for medical procedures. It's not, but unfortunately, some of these celebrities have found a way of using it for recreational purposes, and which they are not glamorizing to mislead their followers and most of who are young people out there. So it's something that is actually not banned, but then as it were, because they have now found a different use for it, so the agency will have to work with other stakeholders to ensure that there is a strict control on its circulation and use. Like I said, there is already a directive for all the commands of the agency to go all out for it, and any moment from now, anybody found in possession of this will have to answer for that.
All right, go ahead, Doctor.
Is there a way that NDLA working with other bodies can stop this content from being shown, you know,
on social media? On
social media, on TV. Is there a way you can stop this content? Because what happens is these kids, they watch this, they see these things, and then they think, oh,
emulate them.
I want to be like this. This is how I should be. They don't understand. So can your agency work with people to just stop the content from being shown?
Social media.
Absolutely. What we do in a situation like this, because this is outside of the powers of the agency. What we do in situations like this is to work, like I just mentioned now, that we have to work with the Federal Ministry of Health to ensure that this is taken out of the cancer and to be brought under strict control, like as one of those controlled drugs. Then again, we also have that leverage to also work with other government agencies, FDAs, that are responsible for some of this content on the social media space, to see how they can also, bring some of these celebrities under some level of control. Especially some of these offensive and misleading posts of theirs. So definitely we have that leverage through a platform that the agency works with, called our IMC, Interministerial Committee, which actually comprises of other ministries, departments, and agencies of government that are relevant to the work that we do.
I forgot myself.
Oh, okay. So one of the comments I made earlier was the fact that a lot of the celebrities live outside Nigeria, and I don't know how. I'm trying to understand how we can impose any restraint on them, being that they largely live outside the country, and the countries they are living in has a lot of freedom when it comes to these things. And that's number one. Number two is a lot of this drug abusive looking videos are also being posted on the cable TVs, which are not regulated. Is there anything the NDLA can do to partner with the Ministry of Communication, broadcast, that broadcast with NBC, so that we can sort of still create a bit of control on the videos that are on the paid platform that might also be influencing our population?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was trying to say earlier, that if this is not within our control, it's not within our power, but then we have other ministries, departments, and agencies of government that have certain responsibilities or level of control over some of these things. Even if not stop the individuals from posting some of these offensive materials, there is a way we believe that they can be restricted from appearing in our own space here in Nigeria, even though they may be out there. But then there are some of the, don't forget that there was a time that a social media app was taken out of reach here. So sometimes some of these things can be done by some of our stakeholders within government circle, and that's exactly where we are looking at.
Okay.
I would like to know if there's something that NDLEA is doing to be is there like a fun way to attract these young people? So the NDLEA is not seen only as a punitive organization, but you try and capture the children early and capture them in a fun way.
Parenting.
Is there a way? Is there something NDLEA does? Is there a program you know.
Absolutely. That's the whole essence of our work against drug abuse initiative. That's an advocacy initiative that actually began on June 26, 2021 to mobilize everybody to buy in and take ownership of the war. And beyond that, we have also used that as a platform to take the campaign to the schools, working with other stakeholders like non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations, and other partners. Fortunately, we have the telecom company, MTN, that has also been part of this drive through quiz competition, essay writing in schools, just to get these young people engaged and equip them with proper information and knowledge about some of these substances so that they can be well equipped to be able to take the right decisions when they are faced with the pressure of abusing these illicit substances. That actually, I'll tell you, that is going on.
Thank you very much.
Recently, I watched a documentary on one of the foreign news stations, and the documentary was on the drug fentanyl, which even in Nigeria has become very rampant.
Wow.
Why can't NDLA work with showing this kind of footage on what it does to people? Because I think if people start to see the repercussions of the drug, I saw a video yesterday of a young boy, I'm sure he was taking one of these drugs, and he was banging his head on the pole, on the electric pole, banging his head, going. So we know for life that one, he can never be normal again. If NDLA take it in, work with, I don't know who, but to start to show young people these videos, maybe it will discourage them.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Maisa. I'll tell you that indeed, regarding fentanyl is something that we did issue a statement on Sunday where we did updated Nigerians about some of the things we have done in the last couple of weeks about fentanyl in Nigeria. It's something that it's a dangerous drug that we cannot afford to allow circulate in Nigeria. And that's why we have dealt decisively with the cartels behind this. And just in May, we arrested 2 members of the syndicate operating at the Onisha overhead bridge. Those people are already in custody. Again, just some days ago, we also followed up with another a very lengthy operation that started as far back as November 2022 in Warri, Delta State, where some officials of a very popular church were arrested there and dealing. In fact, these ones were already not only just dealing in that year, they were also trying to circulate to other parts of the world, to the US and Australia. If you know, fentanyl in US is indeed an epidemic, and so we're working with our counterparts both in the UK and in the US to ensure that we don't have these sinkholes in our country.
Mr. Babafemi, let me make a bit of a suggestion, and because sometimes we need to, I always talk about the fact that we have to customize certain things. Certain things don't work in our own terrain. So, for example, we know that you cannot totally remove parenting from this issue of drug abuse because everything starts from the home. And as much as government will try to regulate in different ways, it starts from the home. So, are there ways where parents can also be held accountable? If they are, we don't want you putting them into custody or arresting them because that doesn't work in this part of the world. Do you think that if a child is caught in any of these balloons, mommy and daddy are arrested and are given a bright yellow overall to sweep the bridges, to sweep the floors? And once you see that bright yellow, you know, that's the parents of one, a drug user. Because when you do that, across, no matter where you are in the country, if you like go and run to Adamawa, once your BVN is registered and we know who you are, we'll just give you bright yellow and go and sweep the streets. You see, when we do that, because we need some crude measures in this part of the world. Crude measures. You don't use crude measures. All these, put them in custody, arrest them, is an important thing. It doesn't really work. Don't you think?
Unfortunately, we don't have the powers that within the we don't have that within the law here. But then I can tell you that in our relationship or interaction with a lot of these parents who miss the mark. They are really regretting it. They wish they could turn back the hand of time and do what they need to do, because we really need to emphasize that parents need to go back to parenting. We cannot afford to leave our responsibilities to schools, to nannies, and to other people. We have to wake up and take up our responsibility as parents. Otherwise, quite a lot of them are going through hell. I can tell you, we may not be able, but these are people that are well to do in the society, but they are going through hell. A lot of them cannot go to bed until their kids go to bed, because they are afraid of being killed if they go to bed before their kids come to bed. So these are the issues and consequences quite a lot of them are going through, and that's why we believe that we're pushing the advocacy to them through the churches, through the communities, because we believe we're very religious, not only churches, through the mosque also, because we believe we're very religious people. And so when these things are made as part of sermons every Friday and every Sunday, a lot of parents will be able to wake up and get this message and wake up to their responsibility.
Go ahead, okay.
Mr. Babafemi, like I have to acknowledge that the NDLEA is making huge effort on the bigger scale, on the larger scale of dealing with the drugs coming in, but in the advocacy, honestly, NDLEA is old school. And I hear you and I see you're making effort, but I believe that there's a generation gap in how we are approaching the drug challenges in Nigeria. It's not a Twitter or church and mosque person. These people don't even, a lot of these people that are using this drug, they don't go to church or go to mosque. I know it's a good place to start, but I feel that NDLEA needs to have a bit of a roundtable with young, I'm talking between 15 to 25, that are influential and probably have done drugs or are not doing, and then you get a true life understanding of how to get to them. That's one suggestion I would make. I think another thing is, please, is there any celebrity that is like a ranking celebrity that is working with the NDLEA? Because you also need to capture them from that level. And if you use a not trending celebrity, it's not going to get to anybody. But if we are able to get a trending A-grade celebrity to partner with NDLEA to come against drug abuse, we might be able to achieve it. So I
also have an idea. Is there are there events that NDLEA can be part of? These young people like to go for parties. They like to go for all these big events thrown by celebrities. Is there a way NDLEA can be part of these events and be in the mix of it? Those are the ideas that are coming to me, because those are the sort of things that attract the young ones. So we need to go to those places and people that attract the young people, and find NDLEA immersed of being part of that. Sorry.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for those suggestions. Absolutely, we do attend a number of social events where we have the platform to address some of these young people. Don't also forget that quite a number of the celebrities that you refer to, quite a number of them are not really well treated. Let me just leave it at that. But then beyond that, I also know that we're working with a number of associations in the entertainment industry, especially the Actors Guild of Nigeria. They've been very, very supportive and very, very understanding. I tell you, we are always in touch with them. They work with us and they update us on development at locations, because these are places where these illicit substances start taking some of these things. And I can tell you that we've made quite a lot of progress with them. The major challenge really has over time been those in the music industry, which it's an area, especially the younger generation ones. They are really not as structured as probably you have those in the Nollywood industry, where we can really relate with some the leadership of that particular sector. But then we continue to make inroads. We have a number of them that are individually working with them, but not as a group. They are not really as structured as a group that you can really relate with, like we're relating with the Actors Guild of Nigeria. But as individuals, yes, please.
You see, I get you, and I think you're making a serious effort, as Tokwe said. But a few innovations, or the ideas we're sharing on this table, in fact, you need to record it and there's some ideas that we're having for you. Because if I feel another thing that you could try to do is, if you partner, imagine there's no industry for bartenders, for example. If NDLA, you are the one training the best bartenders in this country, where everybody goes to, they don't know if NDLA is behind it. They find the corporate company, they find the fine fancy name. They train them and they are in the bars. Or even these dancers or these bouncers, what the bouncers are, the guys that are in the club areas that are always on the road. You are the one training them and creating an industry. And then you begin to infiltrate through that strategy. Because people are now seeing, because you have access to the club goers, the celebrities. Because if you go to a celebrity, people don't listen to them, they just beg. But if you do it subtly, where people, the least expected personalities, are the ones preaching your message, you'll be surprised. So, but these are just ideas. That's why you need a round table, different people to make suggestions. Because the truth is that we need to address this where the young people are. If we don't get to them, we won't find them.
Because we will not have a country.
Yeah.
Because everybody will be on drugs.
The way
they are the what do you call them?
Future of tomorrow.
Not only the future, they are the larger population.
Yes.
And if all of them are on drugs, what's the future of Nigeria?
That's it. Let me let you have the final words, Mr. Babafemi, because we have to wrap up on this. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much.
You pay for all these ideas.
Well, don't forget that it's about all of us. It's not about the NGN, Marwa, or anybody. It's a collective thing, and that's exactly what we're preaching, a whole society approach. I mean, a situation where all of us, in our own sphere of influence, we can do something rather than shifting responsibilities, whether as parents, as teachers, as community leaders, as religious leaders. We all have spheres of influence. What you are doing this morning by making this the point of conversation is part of it. Somebody is hearing something, a parent is being reawakened somewhere. So all of these is exactly what we're pushing for everybody to do, play their own little role, no matter how insignificant you think it looks like. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Babafemi. Thank you so much. I think we can wrap up on this, but it's quite sad. Parties, balloons, you can't trust anything anymore. You know, they always go to parties, but you can't, balloons.
I don't even know. When you get hooked on such a drug, what's your future?
Rehab safe. How much?
Yes, I remember having a conversation.
We don't have rehabs here.
We have rehabs.
Very few.
But I remember having a conversation with a group of young people, and I was saying, at what age do you think is the best time to grab your children with that information and make sure? And I thought they were going to say, oh, by the time they're 13, they were like, by 6. What? Yes. These are, teenagers or in their early 20s. They'll tell you by 6, because at that age, some of us were already seeing some things that were registered in our minds. Scary.
That's why I don't think children should go abroad
too early. That's another hot topic. You're giving us hot topics today. That topic, we'll discuss it another day. But it's a fantastic topic we need to discuss very well. But unfortunately, we have to wrap up. But we have to remind you again, on this show, we share stories, life stories about marriage, life, lifestyle, and we try to teach each other and our viewers. We also learn from our viewers, and viewers learn from our own experiences. So if you have an experience you're willing to share with us, please send us your own story, your view at tvccommunications.tv. When we get your email, then we can share some of these stories and discuss it, dissect it, and also learn from it. You can send later. I think we're going to get your a phone line at some point. But for now, it's just an email address or a WhatsApp line for you to send them. But later on, but for now, please send us your stories. We'd love to discuss your stories. And if you want it to be anonymous, that's also fine. We don't mention your name. But we need real-life stories to share on your view, to dissect, discuss, learn from it, and also get others to teach us new ways. Thank you so much.
Your view at 10 going to the next level.
All right, that's all we can take on today's show. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.